can I wait?
It should not take more than 3-4 days.
No, I think it is almost 3 months.
No, it doesn't. That might be an exception. Maybe we need to check it out.
Change of address in 10 days you'll be getting it. How the system works? Done automatically or?
So the way it works is when you change the address, it's like a refund reissue request. It updates our system and then the income tax department authorizes the refund to be sent to the refund banker and then it goes out. Now, there are catches there. Because for example, 30% of the requests also get errored out because some of the data filled is not correct. So we're trying to streamline it so that we send a message back to you saying this data is not correct. That edge needs to be rounding off. We are working on it. Next maybe 2-3 weeks we'll close that loop. But the thing is that because it's peak e-filing season, we are not able to make the system changes on the e-filing website also.
Sorry for holding on. Like, what should I do? Should I raise the payments, like send a mail or something?
No, you place a request to the call center. It does come. See, and let me also share how the call center works.
Okay.
If they can't resolve, it comes to us. There's a ticketing system internally. It comes to us for review.
Okay.
So if there is an inordinate delay in something, a refund doesn't go out after say week, 10 days, 2 weeks after processing, it does get reviewed.
So they can call the call
Yeah. I mean, exactly. That shouldn't be a reason for a delay.
Since the SIR is talking about the verification process, we are getting jittery about it because there are situations where we claim MAT credit of earlier years as well as foreign tax credit.
Sir, we are talking of pure absolute refund amount, and we check certain patterns of data. It has got nothing to do with processing.
Not technical process.
It has not got nothing to do with processing. So that is about address. So it is quite easy. It's very user friendly, and we act fast.
Yeah, in that refund scam which has come up in a recent thing in Andhra Pradesh and all. Those we found that the TANs of certain government deductors have been compromised, and PANs have been created with the same address. The same bank account number has been given for more than 50 or 60 refund these things. So that is one of the. Then there are also some cases where the address and the bank account are common. This thing. In some cases, the addresses are common, but bank accounts have been taken. So these just to manually filter out, because tomorrow, having known that this is there, the fact if CPC doesn't take any step, will be blamed for not having taken any action on this.
So, but that doesn't have anything to do with. In fact, you should not even be noticing it. So that is why I was surprised. Okay, it should not be an issue.
He went to the person with whom he filed the returns, and he came to me saying that we have to go to the department and
No.
from whatever
Nothing.
he has after 3 years they will not give my refund.
No. We are chasing. Why would I not give a refund? Okay. So the second point is around bank accounts. So there are two buckets. Second is around bank accounts. Now, like a lady in the back mentioned that the bank account has changed. Now, there we are quite strict about it. We do need a cancelled check. And the response sheet needs to be downloaded from the e-filing website. You need to send us a cancelled check. Please don't sign. It is not safe.
In the slip, what you said, that sign is.
We need to correct it, but we don't need to sign. You just send a cancelled check. It's a proof that the account number belongs to you. And then we send it out. So again, there's a process. Again, it goes flat in a week's time. We process and send it out. It does. No, then I need to see the PAN. That will be because every day I'm sending 3,000, 4,000 refunds. So if one escapes, I need to know why. Okay. I mean, this meeting is all about exceptions anyway. So that's the general process, and we do want to sort of reach out to SCs and make sure that the refunds go out. There's no point having this in our account. And actually, to the extent that now the department is actually pushing us to send a whole campaign to all the SSCs, saying that, look, there's a refund against your account, please collect it, and this is the process. Okay, we are not chasing demands, we are chasing refunds here. So, we do it. That's a routine process. No, unlike one point I want to make here is on a lighter vein, We have collected something like, you've seen the first slide, we have collected something like 500 crores of demand as CPC. We have sent more than 18,000 crores of refund. So I rest the case there. So that refunds do need to go out. So that's a key issue. We are keen to sort of reduce this backlog of refunds. But again, we have huge challenges because we don't have there will be an address issue. If I have to send a campaign, either I can do it through an SMS, or I can do it through email, or I can do it through post. Now, mobile numbers are not there, I can't do SMS. Earlier, email address was not mandatory, I don't have email address. Now, email address, you have CA's email address, they will get some 25, I don't know how many people will react or not react, I don't know. So, email success rate has been just around 20%. Any campaign we send, the email success rate has just been about 20%. 80% is gone waste. And the third is around, if I need to send the address, they'll ITRV address. I mean, if I send for 8-9, I don't know how many people it will reach. Maybe 11-12 it will reach, but 8-9.
I think the email is because only like we are lazy because we have to put the password and you have to really go search for the data.
If you don't put the password, they will say there's data security issue.
No, but what is the issue?
No, wherever there's, no, okay.
It's just a communication.
The principle is wherever there is a financial data which match, there is a data, there is a PAN and there is a SC name, we will put password. But if there's no data, if it's just a reminder.
No, I totally appreciate your security, but that is the reason for email failures actually. Otherwise,
So-
every chat account will check the mail and open it.
No, but reminders,
Only
generally,
we have to put the
generally reminders doesn't have data, there won't be password. I mean, reminders won't have any data.
Password is a issue. Email, generally password. I have to have an index of password.
No, we are talking of SSE.
For myself,
to maintain the password for
for myself, for income tax, I have to have a separate password. MCA
All of us do it.
password.
Even I need to maintain bank account, this, so,
I have to have an index of password.
yeah.
So I have to check at the time when the email comes. I have to item. Okay.
That later never happens in the end because of time. Yeah. Sir, this is, I'm all talking of only CPC. I can't talk for anybody else. The other, now we come to the other side, on the starting side, ITRV. Now this is again another huge challenge. This is the data, of course this number has come down a bit. Now ITRV, we have 120 days. And then on top of it, the department gives extensions. We really don't want to give extensions. As a principle, we want to bring compliance. Although we might have one more round of extension soon for whatever you're not received and all that. But in principle, we really don't want. 120 days is a long time. Then somebody came and said, look, I never got your acknowledgement. Right? I've sent the ITRV. But then you never sent me an acknowledgement. Now, acknowledgement is only one part of the story. You can go to the e-filing website, you will have the status. You call the call center, you will have the status. I send you an SMS also. We are very soon planning to introduce SMS also.
What is the time frame?
I'll come to that. So, that case law is only specific. Let's not go into law there. Okay, it is not for general everyone. So, the thing is, emails get sent, and again, I don't know, you go to the same old issue, there is no password here. Okay, so, and we send emails 30, 60, 90 days from receipt of ITR, non-receipt of ITR. You have filed your return on 1st April, you will get a reminder if you're not sent 30th June, 30th September, 30th December, roughly. So, there is enough reminder being sent. We still find that there are defaults. Now, we can do extensions, but we really don't want to do it.
What significance of having the ordinary post?
Okay. We do ordinary post and speed post.
Now only speed post.
No, speed post has been there for about a year, more than a year now. Speed post has been there. The significance is I can't receive courier. I don't have the capacity to receive a few lakh couriers every day. I need to put chapa, I need to put sign. I'll need hundreds of people to do it. Okay, so, and I need to put a quality check on that, a whole lot of issues come. So operationally, it's difficult to put a courier there. That is why, and speed post. So we also had several issues where associates come back and say, look, I sent a speed post. This is my POD number. What am I supposed to do if you haven't got it? Now, then we started maintaining a register of speed posts. We find that on an average, 3 to 4% of speed posts don't reach us. That's a postal issue.
So speed post with registration, it's not that high. 3 to 4%.
Yes, sir. Sir, the data is there. It is about 3%. For the last, for June it was 3%. 3% of speed posts don't come. It might come late, I don't know. Somebody might reconcile, it might come after 1 week, 10 days. Okay, yeah, so there is an error issue.
What Ravi is trying to tell is that now the speed post that you send to postback number 1, that the first point of accumulation is that electronic city post office, which is about 2-3 kilometers away from this thing. At CPC, we have got only a speed post delivery, means to transmit out, not receiving facility. Now, when the postman comes with all these bags, etc., he comes up with a printed
Manifest.
list of this manifest and all. So, when physically verified against the content, we will find that on day 1, he has included some entries which are not physically delivered. He has delivered something which are not physically in the manifest. But it all evens out over a period of 7 days, 8 days, like that. When you average these things, they get evened out. So that's
Sir,
why I
all
don't
don't.
agree with this.
No, all
This is
don't.
a finding of about a week or 15 days study. So it is not as if the speed post or something is blameworthy and they are not a reliable service at all. They do their best. In fact, if you allow me, I will show you some snapshots of in what way the speed post. Some people ask the question as to how many ITRBs can be kept in a envelope.
We have no
We have
restrictions.
counted a maximum 2,450 in one. It's a parcel. So the total cost came to
that was very recent,
435 rupees. For the entire parcel, speed post rate was 435 rupees. So he made a lot of saving. But imagine if an agency has to take care and then I'm just waiting for the letter from that chartered accountant that I had sent 2,400 in a parcel. You have sent acknowledgement in so many cases. You have not sent the acknowledgement in this thing. He will go by the date on which it has been delivered. But it might have been broken into lots and they might have gone for validation separately. So these kinds of typical operational problems happen. From that, I am not very sure whether we can judge, whether we can conclude that the system is efficient or inefficient. We are trying our best to make the system run as efficiently as possible. There are different agencies involved. It's not CPC income tax alone. We have to also depend on India Post for certain deliveries, certain services. Similarly, when CPC processes the return, there are other vendors, other agencies like NSDL, the UTI, our own banks and our own other data centers with which you have to coordinate. So this is a mammoth task. Sometimes even
Accept that it's very efficient and acting on that. We are only giving suggestions to make it better. We definitely accept that.
no, we have taken your suggestion much before we said we'll get rid of that process.
Yeah, so I just coming to that.
Left will
The
get
last
rid of
point
that
was,
process to save the headache.
Maybe in a
that
few
we
months we'll
from
get
this.
rid of ITRVs. So we are trying to work on a process where you have a kind of you answer certain questions, you get an SMS on the mobile which is registered, you punch in that mobile and then the data is validated. So it's work in process, maybe 3-4 months. It could be as early as 3-4 months itself. So fingers crossed on that. So several of these points are covered. So, I mean, coming back to the call center, there is a very stringent review. Somebody came and asked saying, can't we have qualified people man call center? I will have them quitting every 6 months. If I ask some CA inter or CA to take a call. So, but we have a stringent process. Whatever calls they can't handle, there is an internal ticketing mechanism. And the more qualified person gives the answer, it is recorded against the particular PAN, and you can call back and say that, and the call center agent has been trained to say that, look, I don't have the answer for this, but if you can call back in 3 days, 4 days, we'll have the answer for that. So that's a standard process we have. So several more steps which as a part of e-filing, some of it is work in process, some of it needs to be taken down the line. How much data can be stored under my account? Can we store the PDF of the information? How much space will it take? Can we have limited usage? All those are being debated. Can we have the whole ledger account like what we discussed earlier in the evening? How much can we store again is also being debated. We're also trying to work, this could happen pretty fast actually, having pre-population of data in the ITRVs which you download. If you PAN and assessment year you put, for example, the tax credit you have, the TAN numbers, because wrong TAN numbers itself is a huge issue actually, which create mismatch. This is a very, very common issue. So we are trying to cover that by pre-populating it so that the whole wrong TAN number issue is eliminated. So that is again under discussion. This could also happen possibly this calendar year sometime. And we are trying to enhance the quality of the intimations, although it is still, if you look at ITR 6, it is still 6 pages of intimations, and still there is issue saying it is not enough. We are trying to see how it can be fine-tuned so that it actually is it can be captured better. And we already started that for ITR 1. So if you look at the new series of the intimations which come, you will see the code starts with P. So it's a new template. We hope that will capture and resolve some of the grievances on the quality of intimations. So,
avoid zero and L. That's the main problem.
Yeah. That's very common. We are eliminating that. No, that is why the new series starts with P, not with I. That is the reason actually. So, just to sort of capture the summary, these are some of the software aspects actually. File returns on time, because if you have to make a change, you can't file your belated return. File a revised return, because it becomes belated, you can't do it. So it's important to file it on time. Please use authorized software. And I think last year also we touched upon it. This year also we are touching upon it. We are trying to see how software can be validated and say that some of these softwares are valid softwares. So once we go into that mechanism, maybe again sometime early next year, we'll actually have better quality of data. So, and again, I've seen that there are patterns. Some of the software don't populate, say, depreciation field in the XML. Then we actually 3 days back, or 2 days back, we were just responding to a grievance. Somebody said, why is CPC not giving credit to depreciation? The data is not there. So, that's probably a software issue. Fill all relevant details, mobile numbers now mandatory, email address, bank accounts, ITRV status, please keep chases. We do update it. Sometimes there are delays, ITRV status, you are asking. Sometimes there are delays in transferring data back to e-filing, but it is generally quite up to date. And please, you can review. All the status can be reviewed. Arrear demand, you have to go to the field. I think we have discussed enough. Tax mismatch, big issue. We really have taken it up with NSDL. We'll try and resolve. And one thing which probably it didn't get covered is whenever we got data after processing, we got not because of the assessee, the deductor has filed the return late. That you will have to come with a rectification. But if it is a data issue from NSDL to CPC, we try to identify, we ourselves do the rectifications. And we already done about 1 lakh rectifications so far.
The PAN card, the date of birth is correctly mentioned. The NSDL, it is wrongly mentioned. Who should I put?
PAN card. I can't, as CPC, I can't do anything there, honestly. No, those are all, I covered it, right? Those are all under discussions. The XML, you're talking about the XML.
So the problem is, after you look for an integrated facility, see, for one thing you ask us to go to the field, another thing you ask us to go to the computer center. This is the problem. What is this you have written?
Sir, it will happen. It is. If you look at the whole computerization cycle, it started with PAN card, now it has come with CPC, then it's e-filing, then TDS. Somewhere it will get integrated, but it will take time.
I have a PAN number for which I file the return, I pay advance tax, return, get processed, everything. But when I apply to UPI, they say this PAN is not activated, it's deactivated.
I really can't answer, honestly. I have no clue.
Return is getting processed, demand is being paid, everything is been done. But when we approach UPI to issue a fresh PAN card, it's telling that this PAN is deactivated.
I don't have an answer. So,
Two more issues, sir. For foreign tax credits, how do you handle it? I claim foreign tax credit. Similarly, MAT credit from the earlier years for which you don't. So for MAT credit from the earlier years, we accept the data fully in the return.
Yes.
Foreign tax credits, for sometimes till I think assessment year 10-11 or so, partly. At the time of processing, it was not being allowed. But when you came for rectification, CPC was giving it.
Yeah.
The reason for that was that no details of the taxes paid, which country, what rate and all. Exactly. Earlier, what has happened before CPC came up, all these cases were being handled in international taxation segments of the department, and they could make some verifications if in case of any doubts and all. So those things were getting processed by them after calling for the specific details. But since those cases came to CPC and the returns do not contain any information, CPC was constrained to process these things. So from 2011-12 onwards, we have taken a conscious call to pass on these cases for processing to the assessing officers only.
So one more thing. Why trust has been accepted by e-filing?
Pardon?
Trust. Why? Because we are very happy that our return gets very fast processed and we get the return also.
ITR 7 is in the offing. We are expecting it to be released during this filing season itself.
Yes, sir.
Return form itself is not notified. This is the data.
No, physical return form is not notified. Not. Okay. Yeah, I think. Have you checked up in income tax? Not notified. I stand corrected. We'll add. I mean, it's not our domain, but then we'll always we'll take it up.
E-filing will be there, no? For ITR 7.
ITR 7 e-filing is also proposed. This form is under design. This thing. So we are hopeful it will come towards. It may come a little late, but it will come.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Arrear demand. Arrear demand is first. Arrear is for the return process. CPC filing rectification. In which schedule I should show the adjusted tax?
No. We are not talking of if it's a wrong computation.
That statement is very clear. Arrear is the return process by CPC.
Yeah.
File for rectification.
Yeah. So there is a reason. No, okay. There is a reason. Okay. Now I don't know on a pan by pan basis. We can see why there is a demand. Okay. So if you can file for rectification, the demand will go. Is all the point I want to make. Sir, please give me the pan. I can't give you an offhand answer.
It is a general question. It is applicable to many persons.
Okay, we'll come to this. I'll just take this in 2 minutes. Overall, call center can take calls. We'll probably solve most of your queries. But other queries which can't be resolved, they do come back to us. So if you can call them, they will be able to give 90% of your answers. So we believe that we are on the right track. We hope that all these exceptions we are talking about continue to get minimized. And there will be more communication from us. So please give us your email address, give us your mobile numbers. We're not going to call you just for demand. We might call you for a refund also. So 1 minute, sir. 1 minute. I'll take it.
I'm using the income tax software.
Yeah.
So we have built up the MAT schedule also. But in the year assessment year 9-10, the assessing officer says that it is not appearing in our screen, so we are unable to. When we call the call center, they say that it's already file has been transferred to this. So by this it is going forward.
Sir, I'll have to see the pan. Okay. But if
our center has responded that the case has been transferred, it no longer remains in CPC. If the assessing officer is facing any problem in accessing the data,
Zero in fact. Is there a possibility that because the earlier year is not postcard in the CPC or other things, there could be a possibility of business rules which is made as
That's what I asked.
then what
Yeah.
is the mechanism which
no.
rectification, that you have to do a
It's
rectification.
rectification. See, for that assessment year, the data has been transferred to the assessing officer. So you can go to the assessing officer and file for rectification. What is the challenge you see? I couldn't get you.
No. What I'm saying, they say that in the screen which they show, the market is not available in that.
Okay,
So the XML says that there is a schedule built up.
okay.
Okay, so what could be the reason for making that zero in that, right?
No, the system doesn't make anything zero. So one thing, let me just clarify. We do not touch the data. Data is untouched. We don't have any rights to touch the data. We don't make any change to change any data. The only reason I can think of, I'm also guessing here, is there's a software bug and the data did not get populated. The MAT credit field did not get populated because of a software issue. That is the only reason I can think of. Now, for going for the rectification, it is the same thing. You have to give a letter to the AO and say that this is not given credit. He has to do the rectification. Now, I don't know the reason why it has been transferred.
We have given a request.
Huh.
They said that the NSDL, which the software which we are looking at, so we are unable to say because it shows zero, we are unable to make any changes in it. We made a repeated request to the AO also to do that. But they said we are unable to do. We also checked up with CP.
No, he is unable to do because he is not able to access the data from CPC or what?
So they are able to.
No, if they are able to access the data, they can do the rectification.
Yeah.
The only issue arises where sometimes after we transfer the case to assessing officer, still they find some problem in the legacy system that is called AST to access that and perform corrections. Then they will be able to rectify it.
Only BCC is showing as a zero, we are unable to do.
No, if it is showing as zero and you have MAT credit, you can ask him to fill and do a rectification.
Assessing officer's rectification is not limited to the data that is shown on the screen. He can take
fill
information
it up
from you
and
and do the corrections.
CPC can't fill up any data. Yeah. Sir, 1 minute, I think he was asking.
Sir, original return was processed by the assessing officer. Report was due, no intimation, no report. I filed a revised return. The assessing officer, what is did it? All TDS credit he has omitted. Then raised a demand against the assessee and reported the same CPC. Now this matter was noticed and I filed a notification. More than 6 months ago, 6 reminders. Who to my final penal? No response.
No, you can approach the local additional commissioner or the commissioner who supervise that officer for this action.
See, reminders are being given. He is not acting on it. So 6 months over. Am I supposed to file appeal? I don't know when we will give the information to CPC.
It has CPC has nothing to do with it because CPC has not.
You are part of the IT department, I am asking.
As part of the IT department, this is my suggestion that please approach the commissioner concerned of that officer before setting or ombudsman of this thing.
Suppose assessing misplaces a 45 on assessment, how can we get the another?
Recent.
No, there is a recent request on the website. There are delays in that. Okay. 1 minute. There are delays in sending that. We want to send it out in 3 days. We have been sending out in batches. No, just hear me out. There are about 1 lakh requests. We have probably sent out about 80,000. There are some 20,000 cases pending. We are clearing it. There was a lot of software bugs in the recent. So in another maybe a week, 2 weeks, you will not have the issue. It should come within 3-4 days for you. Yeah, I know. That is why we have that provision. It will get rectified. It's a matter of time.
Business income under section 44 EAD. When it comes on maintaining books of account, if I mark yes, I have to fill up my profit loss account balance sheet. My profit loss account profit is lesser than that 8%, so I have offered. If I fill up that profit loss account, the CPC takes this profit also as business income. Plus, so I get tax terms right. And another case, what I did, I have not marked that. I have not maintained books of account. I have to give my cash balance, debtors plus stock, other
Sir.
The difference is added to my...
Sir, please give me the PAN because I don't know whether what you are telling the double income aspect is only because of this. I don't know. So if you can give me the PAN, I can confirm correctly whether there was the issue.
Started doing, we never fill all those columns. Now SARC said, without filling, we will not process. I don't want to get any
No, I didn't say that will not process. If you don't fill, will not process. Maybe you will be getting a letter of defect from now onwards. But earlier we were processing it with by either denying the claim or by computing the income as the on the.
I may have a balance sheet with the a nil balance sheet. It is possible because I may be doing a business, I have closed the business. As of 31st March, nil, no balance sheet. Possible. Possible.
No, all figures means. Then fill up zero at least. Fill up zero. You have not filled it up.
That is a practical limit. From this year onwards, for all undertakings transferring more than 10 lakhs income, e-filing is mandatory. Even assuming they are in business and they are having turnover exceeding 1 crore or 60 lakhs, whatever it is. In some businesses, they are not able to maintain books of accounts. So they offer estimated income. Then how do we come about? We are not uploading the form 3CD in those cases. Just the estimated income, advance tax paid. And there are tribal decisions to say that tax on penalty cannot be levied in such cases. Only 41AA and 271A penalty can be levied.
Oh, CPC nowhere levies any penalty, so I am safe. We don't levy any penalty. No, I still couldn't.
How to comply with the obligation? That is my question.
No. There is no requirement. There is no requirement to maintain books of accounts. The questions in.
He is not maintaining. He is not maintaining, sir. We have only bank account. That is the only information we have. And even the turnover figure we cannot vouch for it. He is simply offering 15 lakhs or 20 lakhs is income. He has paid the tax. How to do the e-filing in such cases? ITR 4.
There is a basic violation in the sense that he is having a turnover or a business more than this. The law is there for those who comply with the law. We will not be making provision for those who are not complying and prepare separate returns for those who have not complied with the law.
Sir, you are making e-filing compulsory in such cases. Which previously you were...
No.
So please fill the right data and do e-filing.
Like, shall we be devising separate series ITR 1A for those who have not complied with this thing, ITR 1B for something? The intention is that all the provisions of the law shall be complied with, and the return forms have been devised accordingly. If you do not comply, naturally you will be finding yourself in the predicament in that situation.
So is it possible, can we have one coordinator as a representative of CPC in the concerned department so that, the problem is we have a call center, but the live interaction with CPC, it happens only yearly once, which is not sufficient.
Same.
Person sitting here and really coordinating the testing of the says, no, we can just contact the desk and say, yes.
No, I don't think it should be. This is a very sort of I can judge the anguish for which this suggestion is being made. But let's be hopeful that the problem will not be that acute, and at every quarters we have taken up the matters. There was an issue of training our assessing officers, a little bit of sensitizing them. And it is now you also see that they are also coming to see the requirement. Just before we started this, I got from some of you that the rectifications have been made based on earlier demands and all these things. I take that as the best possible news that I can carry back from this place. Today I was in the office before coming to this thing, and